Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ladies, gentlemen, and honorable judges, my name is Muthiah Rahmah from Sma Bintang Pelajar Islamic boarding school. I'm a 12th grader and I get irritated by Bocil FF. Have you heard about it? I highly doubt if you haven't. There are those kids who always play the game Free Fire and usually say something that goes like, Mister, give alok, Mister, give alok. Alok is a character in Free Fire, by the way. They are usually included in the categories of Bocil or bocah kematian. Now that's a different term. For those who are unfamiliar with it, it is basically a term for nosy and annoying children, popularized by the gamer Windah Basudara on his stream, and is used quite often in real life and on the internet actually. Anyway, how many of those children have you seen in your life? I know I've seen some, and that makes sense, don't you think? Well, because according to the Indonesian Central Statistics Agency in the year 2022, which is last year, that 52.76% of children aged 5 to 6 years old have used cell phones. Meanwhile, children at the age of 0 to 4 years old was recorded at 25.5%. That's quite terrifying, isn't it? Although, of course, not all children who own a cell phone are Bocil, but I have this theory that perhaps education is one of the factors on why they can be considered as Bocil in the first place. This, of course, can't be fully separated from the lack of parental supervision of their kids. Hold on. Am I saying that Bocil FF are uneducated? No, that's not my point. I know that I don't like them, but I'm not that mean, okay? If you see Bocil, most of them are well educated. So what is your point, Muthiah? My point is, what if all this time, what we thought of as education is not what it's supposed to be? Confused? Well, let's look at the definition then. The word education is derived from the Latin term educere and educare. Educare means to train or mold, while educere means to bring up or rear. Meaning, education is a way to shape the mind of a person to bring out the hidden gem in them, cause a permanent change in the thinking abilities of someone, and makes them able to do certain things while differentiating between what is right and what is wrong. Education is not just about shoving in facts and theories and pouring it all out on a test, but it needs to have an impact on individuals' way of thinking and processing information. So yeah, you've been talking about Bocil and the definition of education, but what is the correlation, Muthiah? I don't get your point. Maybe that's what you say. What if all this time we are not providing kids with the right type of education for this digital era? Ladies, gentlemen, and honorable judges, as we all know that society is getting more sophisticated day by day. There was no such term as the digital revolution or what we know as the digital era until the 20th century. The term started to become popular since then as technology is widely used around the world. But as technology is revolutionized, what about education? Digital education especially. Technology should not race ahead of education. It must be a balanced race between those two. Because advanced digital technologies, if not accompanied with education that are proportionate and comprehensive, will lead to an uneven spread of information, an uneven use of digital systems, and most importantly, exploitation of technology. In other words, the lack of the correct education for this digital era is a mass-producing factory of malicious netizens and maybe Bocil FF. Let me elaborate on this. I don't mean education by school only. Education can come in many forms like formal, or what we know as school and university. Informal, which is learning through experiences in our daily life. And lastly, non-formal, like counseling. And of course, I think school is important, but what is more important now, in my opinion, is digital education and its guidance regarding the proper manner and attitude when using digital devices. Since some horrible netizens of Indonesia are not in school anymore due to some factors, that is one reason why I believe that we need more digital education in school for students and for the public. Furthermore, fact shows that most negative netizens are highly educated in schools and or universities. Meaning maybe schools are not educating, maybe schools are educating students the wrong way, that is what I mean. Or students just didn't get the essence of education itself. Thus, they didn't think through about the consequence of their atrocious behavior on the internet. Their behaviors on the internet don't display their so-called high level of education. And when that's the case, then what is the purpose of school if not for successfully educating every mind? Ladies, gentlemen, and honorable judges, I believe that the people of Indonesia, from Sabah to Merauke, deserve fairness and equality in this digital realm. I believe that we need to reinvent education that is applicable for this digital era. One that propounds skills that will be useful in the future. One that sharpens thinking skills. Do you want Indonesia to be recognized by the world as the country of hateful netizens? Then let's hope that Indonesia can rebuild the education system for a better life of the people and the nation. The aim of education is the knowledge, not of facts, but of values. William S. Burroughs. That's all from me. Thank you very much for listening. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.